So in this video we are going to make use of the analogWrite function. So we are going to use the analogWrite function to simulate so that we will know what analogWrite function is all about. But before I start, I want to point out something. Remember I said that analogWrite is used to write analog voltage that is ranging from 0 to 5 volts. We can also have 2.5, 3.5. The voltage is going to vary, unlike digital write that we only have two voltage, either high or low, which is 0 volts or 5 volts. But whenever you want to vary the voltage, you use the analog write function to write to a varying voltage. So if you look at this Arduino board, there is this thing that I want to point out. If you look at this sign here, this sign comprises of pin 11, 10, 9, 6, 4 and 3, I guess so. So these signs here, whenever you see this sign, it means PWM signs. So whenever you want to get a varying voltage, these pins are the pins that you are going to use. Pin 3, 5, 7, 6, 9, 10 and 11 to get your varying voltage. So whenever you use analogWrite to any of these pins that I mentioned, you get a varying voltage. So you can see where I connected it. This is our LED to pin 6. So we want to get a varying voltage, unlike digital write that we have only high or low. So we want to vary the voltage, which means we want to control the brightness of this LED. So whenever we have a varying voltage, the brightness of this LED depends on the type of voltage we feed to it. So let's see what analogWrite is all about. So we'll go to our Arduino IDE. First of all, I have to set the pin 6, which has the PWM signal, that sign that I told you. So we set it as an output. Then we come down here. Then another thing I want to point out is that this analogWrite, the value of sending the voltage is from 0 to 255. That means this 0 means 0 voltage. This 255 means 5 volts. Okay, so it means 5 volts. So if you want to vary the voltage, you can vary the voltage from 0 to 255. So like this 255 means 5 volts, complete 5 volts. So if I want to have the half of the voltage, that means I have to put 125, which will give me half of the voltage. So the range of varying the voltage is from 0 to 255, which I'm going to demonstrate here. So let's start. So look at the voltage, look at the brightness of this LED now, once I simulate it. So this is the brightness of the LED. So let me vary the voltage now by changing the value, the value of that analogWrite. So I'm going to pause it and go back to our IDE. So let me change this value to 125. Then make sure you save it. Then let's export the hex file. So I'm going to compile and export the hex file. So we see the changes, how to vary the voltage. If you look at this code here, you see that I've changed the number from 255 to 125. So let's see the brightness of the LED. Okay, so once this is done compiling, I will show you the. Okay, so let's go to our simulator. Then we import the hex file. So this is the hex file. Then let's simulate. You can see the brightness of the LED. You will see some changes based on the value we change in that analogWrite. So once you change that value, you are changing the voltage. So that is what we mean by analog write. So you are writing the voltage is changing. It's not like 0 volts to 5 volts. You can get 2.5 volts, 3.5 volts, depending on how you change the value. So let me also still reduce the value too. Let's see how this LED will turn out. I will go back to the Arduino IDE. I will make it 80. I'll make it 80, save and compile. Let's export the hex file. So let's wait for it to compile. So it's done compiling. Let's go to our simulator and import the hex file. So I'm going to import the hex file. Let's see the changes, then simulate. Let's see if there is any changes. If you look at this LED, you see that it's getting more darker because of the value that I changed. So whenever I want a full brightness, what I need to do is to increase the value of that analog write. You see. So let me increase it one more time, then we'll stop this video because it's getting longer now. So let me go to our Arduino IDE and make it 255, which is the maximum value you can go to. You must not exceed this value. So export the hex file. So it's done. Then go to our simulator, import the hex file, and also simulate it. If you look at it, the LED is now more brighter because of we change the value. So whenever you want to have a varying voltage, you use the analog write function to get your varying voltage, and it must be in this digital pin that has this symbol, that you must use that digital analog write. So whenever you want to have a varying voltage, you use the PWM pins in the Arduino board to have your varying voltage. If you decide to use this analog pin, you won't get the varying voltage, because the only thing you will get is that whenever you write the 255 value in the analog write, you get a full brightness of this LED. But whenever you try to vary the value, all you get is a 0 volts. You won't get any voltage from this analog pin. So this analog pin is good in reading analog signal, but it's not that good in it's not that good in writing analog signal. It's only good in reading the analog signal, not writing the analog signal. So in our next video, we are going to talk about how to read analog signal using the analog pins. Thank you.